I'll never forget that stormy night in Charleston. The sky had cracked open with thunder like the world itself was aching for release, and I couldn't help but feel like something was about to change. Deep inside me. Please don't forget to subscribe for more interesting. His name was Carter Maddox. A name that tasted strong on the tongue, just like the way he looked. Tall, broad-shouldered, with that slow southern drawl that made you forget your own name. I had only moved to Charleston 3 months earlier after my marketing job let me go and my longtime boyfriend left me in the same week. Starting over felt like a punch to the gut. But I needed it. I'd met Carter by accident, if there is such a thing. I was renting this old house outside the city, the kind with wooden shutters and a porch swing that creaked when the wind blew. The plumbing went out during the worst thunderstorm of the year, and the landlord sent Carter, his nephew, to fix it. I opened the door wrapped in nothing but a cotton robe. I hadn't expected anyone so soon. His eyes moved over me once, quickly, and then he looked away, like a gentleman. But I saw something in his eyes. A flicker of something restrained. I felt it all the way down to my core. "You called for help?" he asked, his voice low and smooth. "I did," I said, tightening my robe just a little. "Water's cold. Pipes must have given up like everything else around here." Carter gave a soft, knowing chuckle and stepped inside. "Let me take a look." It was innocent enough. He headed to the back while I made tea. Anything to stay busy while I listened to him moving beneath the sink. The storm outside made the air thick, electric. My fingers trembled slightly on the mug as I stirred in honey. And when he returned, shirt clinging to his chest, a smear of something dark on his jaw, I couldn't look away. "Fixed it," he said. "But you should probably have someone take a better look at the insulation too. Storm like this might get cold in here fast." "I'll keep that in mind." I smiled, brushing hair from my face. Then the lights went out. Just like that. Total darkness, except for the fire in the hearth and a few candles I had scattered across the kitchen. "Well," he said, laughing softly, "looks like I'll have to wait out the storm." "Guess you will," I replied, feeling my heartbeat pick up. We sat near the fireplace, both of us pretending the tension wasn't thick as the air around us. The rain was slamming against the windows like it was desperate to get in. I watched the firelight dance across Carter's face as he talked about growing up around boats, how he worked with his hands, how he never stayed in one place too long. And I found myself leaning closer, the space between us shrinking with every story, every laugh. "I don't usually talk this much," he confessed, his voice lower now. "I don't usually listen this much," I whispered. Our knees brushed. He looked at me like he could see inside every wall I'd ever built, like he was asking silent permission to break them. "Are you okay?" he asked suddenly. I blinked. "Yeah, why?" "You're shaking a little." I hadn't realized it. I looked down at my hands. "I guess I'm not used to this kind of storm," I said. "Or maybe it's something else," he murmured. And then he moved closer, slow, deliberate. His hand touched mine. Warm, solid, bigger than I'd expected. The kind of touch that lingers long after it's gone. I didn't pull away. Neither did he. We stayed there by the fire as time unraveled around us. I let myself lean into him, feeling his presence press against me like a promise. My robe slipped slightly off my shoulder, revealing bare skin that flushed under his gaze. "I should probably get you a blanket," I said softly. "You should," he agreed. "But I'm not cold." Neither was I. Not anymore. I stood and felt his eyes follow every movement I made. When I returned, he was still watching me. His eyes darker now, hungrier but still controlled. Always controlled. I sat beside him and draped the blanket over both of us. And then he pulled me in. Low, gentle. Strong arms wrapped around my waist, guiding me onto his lap like it was the most natural thing in the world. He didn't say a word. Neither did I. But our bodies spoke for us. He kissed my shoulder first. Just a whisper of lips. Then my neck. I tilted my head, breath hitching, as his lips moved higher, brushing the edge of my jaw. "Tell me if you want me to stop," he murmured, mouth against my skin. I don't, I said, voice barely a whisper. I felt the tremor in him, like he'd been holding something back for too long. And when he finally kissed me, full, deep, claiming, it wasn't just a kiss. It was surrender. It was every late-night thought, every what if, every lonely hour wrapped into one moment. I melted into him, into the feel of his hands guiding me closer, his breath mixing with mine. He was so big, his chest, his arms, his hands, it almost made me tremble. But not from fear. From the rush of being fully seen. Fully wanted. His body surrounded mine like a fortress. Steady. Strong. He lifted me gently and carried me to the couch in front of the fire, where we lay tangled under the blanket as the storm howled outside. I pressed into him, our bodies molded together like we'd been built for this. For each other. And he didn't leave. Not when the storm passed. Not when the candles burned low. He stayed. All night. And I let him. I woke up with my head on his chest, the steady rhythm of his heart grounding me in a way I didn't know I needed. His arm was still around me, protective. Anchoring. I didn't want to move. Ever. Morning, he whispered, brushing hair from my face. Morning, I said, barely able to hold back the smile. You okay? He nodded. Better than okay. He grinned. Good. 'Cause I'm not going anywhere. Unless you want me to. I didn't. Not that day. Not the next. Carter stayed. And every night after, he made me feel just like that first one. Held safe and warm from the inside out. It wasn't just about the fire or the storm or the size of his arms wrapped around me like armor. It was how he made me feel. Like I could let go. Like I could be soft again. And in the quiet dark, where only our breaths filled the space, I whispered the thing I hadn't said to anyone in a long time. Don't let go. He didn't. He just pulled me closer.